One, two, three. Booker, Buko. Ebeg is a form of Banyumas regional dance that uses horse dolls made from woven bamboo, and its head is given fibers as hair. The Ebeg dance in the Banyumas area depicts war soldiers who are riding horses. Dance movements depicting valor performed by Ebeg players. It is estimated this Ebeg art has existed since the 9th century, precisely when humans began to embrace the beliefs of animism and dynamism. One of the evidences that strengthens Ebeg in the ranks of old art is the existence of forms in trance, possession, or wuru. Forms like this are characteristic of art that was born in the days of animism and dynamism. In addition, Ebeg is considered a truly original art and culture from Banyumas and Java, since there is absolutely no influence from other cultures. Unlike the puppet, which is an appreciation of Indian Hindu culture with its various figures, Ebeg did not tell a particular character at all, and was not influenced by certain religions, both Hindu and Islamic. Even in his songs he tells a lot about the life of traditional society, sometimes containing rhymes, living discourse, and tells about the art of Ebeg itself. The song sung in the Ebeg performance almost entirely uses Javanese Banyumasan, or commonly called Ngapik, complete with its distinctive accent. There are early Ebeg songs that use Javanese Mataram and lyrics and languages other than Banyumasan. Some examples of songs in Ebeg that are often sung are Sekagadang, Eling Eling, Risik Risik Banyumasan, Tol Tol, Weru Doyang, Anamaning Model Wang Purbalinga, and others. Attraction. In addition, Ebeg will go through a unique scene that is usually the final event in the Ebeg show. The attraction is as it is known in Banyumasan with the term Janchuran round. Players will mendam or wuru possessed in Banyumasan language and begin to perform unique attractions. The form of attractions such as eating bilinga broken glass, eat unripe leaves, eat live chicken, act like monkeys, snakes, and so on. This attraction in trance is only played by players who have hosts or helpers. Each player has a different variant of the parent. Among other things, the grandparents, who bring the players to the conditions in trance, mimic the behavior of monkeys. Geran mother, maid mother, tiger mother, and others. Ebeg group. In an Ebeg group there are at least enough players, especially for lumping horsemen. Also in an Ebeg performance there is one birangan, which is a kind of mask that depicts the face of a tiger, Javanese tiger, and has a long cloth to the back as a picture of his body. Birangan is like a lion dance in Chinese culture, because its mouth can open. It's just that birangan is often painted with a dark color. In addition to the lumping and birangan horsemen, there are two players who wear masks named Penthal and Tembam. In the second society, the players who use this mask are known as the fast. Penthal is a mask that has a long nose and is usually white, whereas Tembam has a more sinister and black face. Musical instruments in Banyumas. Ebeg is usually performed with Kalang Banyumasan music or Banyumasan gamelan. Nayaga or accompanist is integrated with the dancers. Initially the Ebeg performance was usually accompanied by a musical instrument called bend. This instrument has physical characteristics like a gong, but is smaller in size, made of metal. Then other musical instruments are gending Banyumasan accompaniments such as drums, saran, kenning, gongs, and trumpets. Trance. One of the obligations in staging Ebeg is the availability of offerings or offerings. The offerings are used for offerings to the spirits and Lord of Spirits around, to want to support the performance. The effect is the Ebeg players will experience trance or possession, which in Banyumas is called mendam, because it is possessed by spirits. At this time, the Ebeg players used to eat various things that are not commonly eaten, such as broken glass, flower offerings, peeling coconut with teeth, eating rice from the stems, eating deduk, catchel, embers, egg yolks, etc. The situation of this demise shows that the Ebeg player is showing that he is a strong Kshatriya. At the end of the fight, the player who is possessed will be healed by the leader of the group Ebeg, who is usually a traditional elder and is called by the term Pinimble. Please note that not only Ebeg players can be possessed. Often the audience also joined in the demonstration, so that it enlivened the performance of Ebeg. When the players and some viewers are possessed, the performance becomes a little more chaotic and brutal. But this is precisely what characterizes Ebeg Banyumasan compared to the art of lumping horses from other regions. Sometimes people who possess dance in front of a music player and ask to play good music. If the music stops, then the player will stop dancing. However, not all Ebeg shows are truly possessed by some. Some Ebeg groups only pretend that they are possessed, or acting as if they are possessed to look excited. Janchuran. Janchuran is the ultimate show in an Ebeg show where the dancers will be possessed, so that their behavior is like bigger, out of control. In this stage the dancer will perform attractions that can be considered extreme, such as eating flowers, rice, jumping over the cross, a bamboo footing that usually exists at Ebeg in the pond area, or eat live chickens. In Janchuran it is not only dancers who are possessed, the audience can also be possessed, usually as a result of being struck by dancers who are possessed, or deliberately possessed, because they have their own intang. This is valid, as long as the Ebeg group concerned allows the audience to participate, because each Ebeg group has different regulations. Indhanger. One of the inductees in the Ebeg Banyumasan staging. Indhanger is a term used by the Tambak community, especially teenagers, to refer to the audience participating in an Ebeg show voluntarily. Usually they will be possessed in the Janchuran round. Why is it called Indhanger? The answer is, because they use Indhang, which is not from the Ebeg group concerned, Akar Indhang, who was not invited. The Indhanger cannot stand alone. Generally they form an association or community, because there must be people who Janchuran in order to be possessed, and heal them later. Usually the relevant Ebeg group is not responsible for the Indhanger, because of the risk borne by each. Aside from being a fan of Ebeg performances, Indhanger is sometimes also used by some Ebeg groups as a dancer. Recent developments as a result of the cultural development in Banyumas and the presentation of a performance art which, in its early stages as a means of ritual, has shifted to the performing arts business. Revamping in Ebeg was immediately carried out. The arrangement on Ebeg, which can include forms of accompaniment, refinement of dance moves, costumes or their properties, is mostly done by Banyumas artists. Ebeg is usually staged at a celebration event, both circumcision and marriage. Besides that, at the beginning of Sira or the Javanese New Year, Ebeg was also often staged in various regions of Banyumas, Cilacap, Kroya, Kebumen, Purbalingga and Banjarnegara. There are still several villages that still often hold Ebeg performances in the Banyumas residency, such as Mandaraja, Banjarwuru, Duke, Bedding, Skiril, Jepara, Somajid, Shapes, Ajibarang, Paralysis, Padamara, Kabazan, Jataloang, Banarong, Jetis, Sempermombong, and others. One, two, three. Booker, Buku.